Welcome once again to another beautiful segment here on Noble TV Live. This is Share with Noble. Now, my name is Valentine Agogo, and I have some wonderful panelists here. I believe you all know what Share with Noble is all about. It's simply about family issues where we have real life issues sent across to us to deliberate upon and possibly prefer solutions. Of course, you're not left out. You could also drop your comments to be part of this wonderful conversation. Okay, on set today we have Mr. Augustine Omilo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And of course, you've met her before, Mrs. Victoria Chukura. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
All right, very quick one. Now, today's topic is about a lady in church, a Christian woman, a typical Christian, committed Christian woman. Now, she's been in a marriage, they've had kids for years, grown-up kids, and they've been praying for a better life. She had a husband and a family, and God answered the prayers. But in the answering of the prayers, God took the husband out of town, where he had to travel a lot, spend more time out of the home, but made way much more money. All right, and made their family improve their standard of living, basically. So they were living really good, or they are living really good. Now, along the way, because of the husband's absence, the lady had a friend, or has a friend in the church who she depends on a lot. They are very close, same age range, and they're close pals. And the person happens to be a guy. And along the way, they started, because of time they spent together, especially with the absence of the husband, started developing feelings for one another. And they didn't just end there, the feelings. They went the extra mile and started indulging in extramarital affair. Now, this young man is single, claims not to be in a relationship. This was meant to be a happily married woman. Now, because she claims that the excuse she has right now is that because the husband was not always available and always traveling, spending weeks and months out of the home, her needs overrode her, overtook her, and overwhelmed her, that she had to give into this extramarital relationship. Now, during the process of the relationship, the guy convinced her. This is the error. This is the annoying part of this story now. The guy convinced her to leave the marriage and be with him, that he loves her so much that he's willing to take the kids, take her, and spend the rest of his life with her. And mysteriously, she gave into that idea and left her husband. Understand? So just walked out of the marriage, said she didn't want anymore, she divorced the man and all that. But after leaving the husband, this very guy who persuaded her to leave the marriage was nowhere to be found anymore. He was no longer as interested as he used to be. Probably for whatever reasons, maybe not getting what he used to benefit from the relationship, like money and all that. So he was all of a sudden he's no longer interested. Now, out of anger, or the fact that she has lost her marriage, and the reason why she lost the marriage is nowhere to be found, he's not showing interest, just walking away from her and all that. And she still sees him in church. She's so furious that she's tempted to either lock him up with police, but what would she tell the police? Or go the extra mile to harm him. We don't know what extent she's willing to go to harm this young man. All right, so that is the dilemma she has found herself, and she's asking for help. So let's start with you, Mr. Augustine Omilo. What's your take on this issue?
First of all, that young man is a very wicked boy. Then secondly, the lady herself, if I am in a position to meet her, or first of all flog her, maybe I give her like 12 strokes of a cane. You see, some of all these things we see in life, there's nothing that comes up suddenly. You know, there are things that we do that if you reflect back, you see that there are some thoughts that you have actually nurtured in your heart for a very long time. And at the fullness of time, they will come to manifest. So this is exactly what I think must have happened in the case of this lady. Because the husband had been going out or maybe staying away, and in her mind, she had been, maybe at one point or the other, she thought of, if I have an opportunity to even meet somebody who can be taking care of me, that kind of a thought. And if you hold that thought for a long time, a time will come to manifest. And that, I think, is what happened. Now, when it happened, yes, the way it is now, how can she say she was convinced that the boy wanted to marry her? Is it that she didn't go close to the boy enough to see that this boy doesn't have what it takes to marry her? Or because if somebody says he wants to marry you and you are the one that is giving him money to feed, you are the one that brings the car that your husband bought for you, yes, and you are the one that gives money to him, maybe to give his own parents and all that. You are the one providing, and you are thinking that when he now marries you, he will now begin to give you money, because you should understand that when you get married to him now, you will no longer be getting that palliative as it were now from your husband. So she should have known that. So she was not intelligent enough to read between the lines. Maybe because the boy, being a wicked boy, has hypnotized her. She didn't know, but the boy knew what she was up to, and maybe she didn't care what was going to happen. So the boy was a wicked boy, or is still a wicked boy.
Wow.
So for me,
Mr. Yes. How do you see this whole situation, and are there ways
a pity
for her to?
It's a pity because she couldn't define what she really wants safe. Okay, you started from somewhere in your marriage, young marriage. This young marriage has no money. The young marriage now has no money. You started growing, praying and believing that one day God will do something. Now God has done something. Through your husband, he's having money now to take care of you, giving you enough to take care of you. So what else do you want? You have love in your marriage, you have money in your marriage,
children,
and I'm sure through the giving, if the man does not love you or care for you, he will not bring.
Yes,
you have all this. So what are you looking for? That you cannot guide your emotions because the man is not always around. Then you find this boy coming out, and you are the one that goes to him to tell him, come and repair my machine, come and repair my tire, come and take the children to school, come and do this, come and do that. That's where the whole thing started now.
Yeah, that's how it could have started.
And in the process, she exposes herself, exposes her children, exposes the marriage, exposes the man that is her husband now to this young man who has nothing. Who will not capitalize on that? I'm sure they have beautiful homes, sweet cars, you know. If the boy is a gold digger, of course, that's the kind of story, because that is what she wants to hear. So the boy now gave it to her. The boy gave it to her.
She must have told her what she wanted to hear.
Yes, now. She must have complained. My husband on the day, this and that. I'm the only one. You know how we talk. And the boy will say, oh yeah, okay, I'm here for you. And begin to sweet tongue her. I'm going to tell her, don't worry, I'll stay with you. We'll marry. I'll be with you. You know, sweet tongue her, and she fell into the whole mess.
So, is there any way out for her right now? Is this true?
Like we always advise, one is for her to show that she's really remorseful, but she was too fast again to get a divorce. I don't know. I don't know how the boy did it to her, that she worried her husband, and the husband did not even to object. I don't know, maybe that was not part of the
details we have here.
Otherwise, we would have loved to see the restraint the man put in, the husband, the steps the man put in. The man just giving like that to her story, that the man just say, okay, you don't want this marriage again. What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
To make you want this marriage, and suddenly the man, you know, divorce cases is not normally or usually
overnight. Yes.
Overnight. So we really, that part of the story, we don't have it. But since she's divorced, she cannot eat her cake and have it. She has caused the fall of her marriage. Now she should go and look for the boy and cause the boy to marry her by fire, by force.
Mr. Milo, what's your take on it?
She should not kill the boy, because killing is a sin. She should not do any harm to the boy, because she has shared something with the boy.
Yeah.
She has this thing of the heart is very toxic.
Yeah.
And it can make amend. So since she still has, it's just because the boy is no longer reciprocating her calls, the boy no longer comes the way he used to be. Imagine that the boy still comes.
Oh.
Do you think she will complain?
Very true.
It's because she's not seeing the boy again.
Yeah.
The boy is
the
no
music
longer
has changed.
good. The sweetness has turned soured.
Oh.
The boy no longer enjoy those things, because He too, maybe the boy now realize that this woman won't use me, I no go agree make he use me.
Okay.
Yes, now because the boy comes to the house doing houseboy chores, running errands for her, doing all those things, and suddenly he too begin to see that this woman will go make her marry him from waiting her daughter, and inside of him, just like Mr. Milo said that the boy is wicked, the boy knew inside of him that marriage not this matter, but she didn't know because she wanted freedom. She wanted it with the boy. You are complaining that the boy your husband did not take care of, does not have this and that. The man now has. You are looking for somebody who does not have. I don't understand it.
Mr. Milo, what's your what? How do you see this playing now? Because right now, like Mrs. Chukwu said, she can't actually eat her cake and have it, but she actually believes and hopes that she can get enough help where the possibility of eating and having the cake at the same time will be possible. She wishes to return back the hands of time and fix her marriage, saying that this guy is a lost cause. So what do you have to say about that, please?
No,
what kind of solutions possible?
She's not aiming at eating her cake and still having it. She realizes that she has finished her cake. She wants to buy another one.
Okay, she has finished the cake.
Yes,
So the other one is no longer available.
For me, this boy is her husband now. So the former husband now is what we're thinking about now, how to reconcile with that one.
With him.
Yeah, because she has not divorced this one now.
She has not even married this one.
No, okay, because she's
They are not married. She has divorced the other one.
Yeah.
The main husband.
Me, you see, nothing has a meaning until you give it one. If she's bold enough, if I perish, I perish. Like Esther said in the Bible. Go back to this man. Because you see, some of all these things we do, every man, every woman on earth is committed to error at one point or the other as a result of an influence that you may not be in a position to actually explain.
Okay.
Now, coming from that point, if she's bold enough to meet the husband, the former husband now, the one she has
divorced, yes,
and say, please, I'm on my knees. This is my plight. Will you be ready to hear from me? The man can even drive her away. Next time she comes again.
Has to be persistent.
Yeah, persistent. Okay, what's your story? Tell the story. And after telling the story, it's not going to be easy for the man to say, okay, okay, is that the problem? Okay, come now, I'm marrying you again. The man may never agree.
The man will not.
Yes. So, but at the fullness of time, something again, just like it was spoken to her, and that speech from that person from behind lured her out of the marriage. There will be a speech again to the husband, as it were now, that may convince the husband of the veracity of the story the woman brought before him, and therefore the need for forgiveness may come in. And if the man realizes that at the fullness of time also, that he too may be in a bigger error by rejecting this woman, because in the first place, the reason for them getting married in the first place must have to be explained thoroughly for him to understand that it was not just a mere coincidence that he got married to that woman, and it's not a mere coincidence that this woman at a point decided to leave him, and it's not a mere coincidence that this woman later decided to come back. These are arrangements that are woven into the creation we have now, because life generally is a setup. So if the man realizes that, he can say, okay, let me think about it. And after thinking about it, he can say, okay, I have agreed, but this is the condition. And he will give his condition. If the man is able to abide by those conditions, they can reconcile. Because the danger in this thing is that if this woman leaves this man, because they have children.
Yes.
So it's not just about
grown-ups.
Yeah, it's not just about the woman leaving the husband or the husband leaving the woman. The story that may be told later in life about the children may be so traumatic that leaving the husband and leaving the wife may be just a small thing compared to what may be
the impact you have on the children.
So for me, let her brace up. Go tell the husband what happened.
But sorry if I may cut in here. In the process of the divorce, did all these stories not come out? Did they not say it in court? And God bless her, because now the man has money, the man can have 20 women and all. God bless her if by the time she realizes herself to go back to the man, if there is still vacancy.
Yeah.
That is, if the man has not married somebody else. And for me, if the man were to be my brother, I will not agree for her to come in. We are divorced. we are divorced.
Should move on.
Yes.
We don't have time. Otherwise, I'll tell you a story.
We are divorced. We are
Do we
divorced.
still have time?
You should
You have like
go.
just 1 minute
You should
to
go
round
and
up.
marry a young-
If you can summarize
a
it,
young boyfriend.
it's going to help out. It's going to help out.
There was a man. This man was a conductor, driving. He had a driver. All of them were working for a company, but he was the conductor. He was making money because those days they used to pay overtime. Hours of overtime. Now he established a business for the wife, and the wife was doing well. He too was doing well. At a point, a military officer got into an affair with this woman and convinced her. I don't know what they discussed, but at a point now, this woman, unknown to the husband, that this woman was already making up her mind to back away from the marriage. So at a point, she just decided she was not going to stay in the house again. She packed away from the house and went to their village. They are from the same place. So when she got to the village, as if she left the husband now and moved to her parents' house. Yes. So she got to the village and stayed for some time, and after a while, she now decided to go to the palace of their king to institute the divorce. So the man was in Lagos. They sent a message. The divorce suit notice came to the husband. I'm telling you a life story, because this story, when the man got the papers from the palace, he came to somebody that was close to my brother to seek the husband. Now came to someone that was close to my elder brother to seek his advice. My brother said, if you know you didn't do anything to the woman and she just decided to leave you don't even need to go to the palace. Just tell them that you are not interested in the dowry. They should just let her go. And that was what happened. So the woman, after a while, the woman now left her parents' home and went to Ibadan to go meet the army man. The army man who lured her out of the marriage. So the man hired a house for her and she was living with that man. The man was no longer giving her money like she used to give her. Okay. She used to have money on her own as a businesswoman. Okay. This man now was not able to establish business for her, and he was not giving her money as she used to make money for herself. So she became stranded. Okay. Now she didn't know what to do. She will not come back. But a day came when she now sent delegates, including her mother, to the husband to go plead for forgiveness. Now when he came again, the man also went to the same person that he told that time about what was happening. The man said, okay, are you married now? Have you remarried? He said no. Okay. Now your wife, as it were now, wants to come back. What is your take? The man said he doesn't know. That's why he's asking. He said, no, you can't ask me because it depends on you. Exactly. So if you are still interested in her, because you are not married now, for me to now say, okay, you can marry two wives, and she is leaving the other man now, you can go back because of your children. So that was how they reconciled. And after the reconciliation, the first thing the woman did was to start attending one of the most critical, Pentecostal churches. That is when you say somebody is born again to the core. That was what she did. And today, the husband now is about 84 years old. And this woman should be like 73. And they are still living together. If you see where two of them are, when the man will be dragging his bicycle, the woman will be following. Wow. But the implication in all these things, in as much as I agree, the man should forgive. But for ladies and for men, this irresponsible attitude of Kukere movement, the implication of it is that you can give birth to children that may become sick. When you say perennial, incurable illnesses, madness inclusive, if you get yourself involved with all this matter. But as of forgiveness, you can be forgiven because
we've heard quite a lot from Mr. Augustine Omilo and Mrs. Victoria Chukura. They've said a lot. So what's your take on this? Please leave your comments. You've heard the story. Do you agree with them or do you disagree with our panelists here? And whatever your opinions are, please be just say it as it is. All right. She's willing to receive all the criticisms as possible, as well as hopefully, like we had said here, eat her cake and have it all. Mr. Omilo said she has finished one cake. Hopefully have another cake, all right, which means have a second chance if it's possible. So she's open to all the suggestions and help she could possibly get. From us on Noble TV Live, don't forget this is Share It with Noble. Don't forget to like, share, and drop your comments and subscribe. And most importantly, don't forget to click the notification button for prompt similar updates. Thank you.